Today I think I'm supposed to talk about this. Whenever I was little, I lived in a mill village, and this town actually was founded on these 3 mill villages that were here, and each village had its own activities, their own sense of community, very strong sense of community. They each had their own schools, and it was actually well put together. And I guess if you didn't live in one of these places, you might think, oh, that's kind of sad and whatnot, but it wasn't at all. It was actually a very productive, for lack of a better word, place to live, because you did have that sense of community. And you had the families that played together, worked together, they kind of stay together. You almost had to be kin to somebody to even work in some of the places, because it had that strong sense of family and unity and housing and everything. They had their own churches, you know. So anyway, the thing is, there was always a rumor from time I can remember, and long before that too, that, oh, it's going to close down, it's going to be bad, these places aren't going to last, you know. And a lot of people thought, no, I retired from here, my parents retired from here, my kids can retire from here. And they didn't want to hear that, because, you know, it's never going to change. It's always going to be here, because it had been here so very, very long. And pretty soon, though, things did start to change. They sell out the houses, so the sense of community was lost. They stopped all the activities, so the play was lost. Then they start actually downsizing the work, because they were shipping the work somewhere else. So you had insecurity with work. And pretty soon, these places went out of business or changed in such a way that it was no longer anything resembling what once was. And I think that's sort of what's going on in a bigger sense in the world today. It's almost like first you destroy the family, you destroy the sense of community, you sow seeds of insecurity, because if you don't have that, you know, your whole world is not going to be in order. And pretty soon you have a lot of troublesome things happening. When people are insecure, they act out in ways that are not acceptable. But if you don't have that sense of love and worship and play and all these things, like I said, together, you know, there's not a whole lot to bond you. So I think it is entirely possible that we are going down a path that leads to a great deal of destruction. And I think while there may be an exit ramp or two along this path that could turn us into a completely new and better direction, it seems to be becoming more and more unlikely that we're going to see that ramp, because we're whizzing by it too fast. We don't believe in its existence. We don't think there's a way to change our direction. Or, you know, we just decide, who cares? Let's just destroy. I don't know. I'm hoping that through positive thought and healing thought that we can see these exit ramps, and we can turn away from what right now looks like a very bad outcome. That's my hope, and that's my prayer. I hope it's yours. Now, some people feel that there could be a very, very big event coming that has nothing to do with our behavior. It could be something to do with, I don't know, great knowledge coming in. It could be to do with knowledge we're not ready for. It could have to do with something like an asteroid, or, you know, God knows. I mean, a super volcano. There's just so many ways to do us all in. You know, so many ways. And I think that is possible. I think it's possible, you know, that people, like I said, could just manage to self-destruct no matter what. But and it's very possible that something positive could happen. I mean, you know, if we're forced to see knowledge that we didn't have before, maybe that would help us to grow, evolve. I think actually we are evolving in some ways. I think that our DNA is actually being changed, so that the children coming into this world are going to maybe be more apt to see, feel, hear, know than we were. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I'm just saying, let's look for the exit ramp. If something's going to bring us down, don't let it be us. That's the moral of this story.